Hey guys, Delta here, and we're into 2014 now. I'm not sure how many of you remember, but at the end of 2012, I did a Game of the Year award sort of video, and I wanted to do one again for this year, but, I haven't played a ton of new releases that came out this year. I've been mostly focusing on my backlog. So, I'm going to do a different kind of video this year. At first I was going to spoof the VGX show and have, cards and a shitty award. But to be honest, a spoof of that terrible show is just another terrible video. So, let's get on to what I'm actually going to talk about, starting with my top 4 games for 2013. Starting with number 4, we have Tomb Raider. I was craving another Uncharted-like experience, and Tomb Raider initially I wasn't looking at getting. But then the reviews started coming in and they were positive, and I had a few friends that played the game and they really liked it. I was in Future Shop and I saw that you got a free steelbook case when you bought the game, and I just caved and I bought it, and you know what? I loved it, and I was really surprised by how good it is. In fact, I actually enjoyed parts of the game more than how they are done in Uncharted. For example, I loved the more open levels that Tomb Raider presented. And on my first playthrough, the game lasted me about 12 hours, which I was really happy with. I was expecting a shorter 6 to 8 hour experience, something very similar to the Uncharted games. Overall, I just had a ton of fun playing Tomb Raider, and while I'm not sure I'm going to double dip and buy it again on PlayStation 4, it was a fantastic game that, if you enjoy that genre, I definitely recommend you check out. Bioshock is a series I've been wanting to get into for a long time, but couldn't quite wrap my head around until recently. And Infinite is another fantastic entry into that series. With its fantastic storyline, interesting world, and phenomenal art design, Infinite is one of the true standout games of 2013. It starts off a bit slowly, but once you reach a certain point, the game becomes addicting to the point that it is impossible to put down. While there is some back and forth on the quality of the gameplay itself, Infinite is one of the standout games of 2013 in my opinion, and one of the best first-person shooters, pure first-person shooters, that I've played in a long time. In the second spot is the game that usurped Bioshock Infinite very, very recently, and that is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. After Assassin's Creed 3, I thought I was done with this series. I was tired of the games, the gameplay had grown stale, the story wasn't interesting to me anymore, and I really thought it needed time off. Coming out with another title this year I thought was effectively committing suicide for Ubisoft. Instead, we got Black Flag, which combines the best of Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed 2, Far Cry 3, a game that I really enjoyed and named my Shooter of the Year last year, and Pirates. Pirates are awesome no matter what, and that is the cincher on Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. The story is really whatever for me. I haven't even finished it yet. I've been having a blast just going out and being a pirate, sailing around the seas, exploring new locations, and attacking whatever ship I decide to attack. It's an incredible amount of fun to play, and has given me some of the most fun I've had playing a game, not just this year, but in a long time. Finally, in the number 1 spot, it really shouldn't be a question because I've been hinting at this for a long time, my top game of 2013 is The Last of Us. This is a game that combines almost perfect everything, from the gameplay to the story to the sound. There is very little that I can find wrong with The Last of Us. The game can be equal parts stressful and fun, and it is one of those games that I just adore playing on the hardest difficulty, making it even tougher on myself with limited supplies, tougher enemies, and it is just an absolute blast to play in sort of a twisted way. Like I said, it can be incredibly stressful to play at times. And while I've been talking about the obviously fantastic campaign, I think The Last of Us has truly underrated multiplayer. It may have been a little bare bones at launch, but Naughty Dog continues to improve the game, and the community continues to thrive with their support. The Last of Us is truly the perfect swan song for the PlayStation 3. I really couldn't think of a better title to send that console off and move into the next generation. Speaking of the next generation, let's move on into my most anticipated titles of this year, 2014. Starting off, we have Titanfall in the number 4 slot, a game that I played at PAX last year. It is a fantastically fun game, and while some people are worried that it is just Call of Duty with mechs, and to be honest, it really does play like Call of Duty with mechs, like I said at the start, it is an incredible amount of fun to play. And of course, this is a new game from the guys at Respawn Entertainment, Basically, the original Infinity Ward, the guys that made Call of Duty 4 and reshaped the first-person shooter genre. While I am disappointed that Microsoft bought out exclusivity for the first title in the series, I'll likely pick the game up on PC and have just as much fun. In the third spot is Watch Dogs. I've been concerned about this game because of the delays and lack of information surrounding it, but I cannot knock the demo I saw at PAX. While I didn't get to go hands-on with myself, what Ubisoft showed looked phenomenal. Add that on to the fact the concept of the game as a whole is something that I find really interesting. And after playing Assassin's Creed 4, it appears Ubisoft has created some sort of meta-Ubiverse where Watch Dogs, the Assassin's Creed games, CTOS, Abstergo, and all of this exists. And I'm not sure if I'm pissed off at Ubisoft for doing this, or if I'm extremely interested in it. In second, now this was a tough one, it took a long time to decide how I was going to order my top 2 games, but second, just by the slightest margin, is Destiny. Bungie is finally coming to the PlayStation. The world looks fantastic and extremely fun to explore. It looks like the kind of game that you can hop in and just have a blast playing with friends, and I really don't have enough games like that anymore. Overall, I haven't seen a ton of Destiny because I've been on somewhat of a media blackout, but from what I have seen, it reminds me of Borderlands, but with actually good gameplay. Finally, my number 1 most anticipated game for 2013 is Infamous Second Son. Like I said, this was a hard decision to make, choosing a single-player game over a multiplayer game, but I went with Infamous because Infamous is one of my favorite series, not just PlayStation exclusive series, but one of my favorite series in gaming today. I've talked a lot about the first Infamous and how much fun I had with that, and how it really helped get me into gaming the way I am today. I'm really excited to explore Seattle, a city I'm familiar with and a real breath of fresh air compared to the Los Angeles and New York-inspired locations of many open-world games. Not to mention I'm interested in the new character Delsin Rowe and his ability to take away other conduits' powers. That just is really interesting to me. There's a whole lot that Sucker Punch can do with that. And finally, on top of all of that, Sucker Punch just gets better with every game they release and every console generation they jump to. And there we have it. That's my top 4 games of 2013 and my top 4 most anticipated releases for 2014. As of right now, of course, there's a lot of games that could come out of nowhere that we just haven't heard about yet. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, share it around. All the stuff is down below here. It really does help, and I truly do appreciate it. Again, I wish you guys a happy new year. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.